Mall. One kiss. Share the passion for Mex fashion.
When was the last time you had a vacation? Apparently, on average, Canadians get 21 days off per year, but are we using them? Joining us now, Beverly Beuermann-King, a sociologist and stress expert. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
21 days seems like a lot of time, but when you compare it to other countries, not so much.
Not so good. We're doing better than the U.S., which came in at 14. We actually have 19, and France gets 39 days.
Wow.
Wow. So that's, I mean, it's amazing. But even though we get these days, we're still not very good at using them. So the Expedia.ca survey found that we're still leaving 2 days on the table.
Why?
Part of it was that we said we were too busy. We couldn't schedule it properly. And then there's some of us who have the option of taking our vacation days in cash.
And you don't recommend that. Why should people be taking their vacation days, using them all up?
Well, we know that we actually are more productive, more creative. And so the Expedia.ca survey found that we actually come back to work feeling better about our jobs and more productive. More creative. So it's actually better for us in terms of work. But we know that we deal better with stress. We can't rev it high all the time. We have to have periods of downtime.
So in France, when you say they are given on average 39 days, what's productivity like there? It seems like the Frenchmen are never at work, 39 days off.
In our perception, it seems that way, doesn't it? And that's not including their stat time as well. But what we find is productivity is still high, because what happens is that they work hard and then they take their vacation, and then they're able to come back and work hard, concentrate, focus, be productive, and then go back onto vacation again.
Also in the survey, 1 in 5 employed Canadians said that they would take a lower salary for more vacation days. If we're not using them, why are we saying this?
We want more. We know the benefit of taking that time off, and we know that it's one of the top perks that people are looking for. We just aren't good at planning it. We aren't good at looking ahead. So one of the things we recommend is, you've got the summer coming up, you've got the Victoria Day weekend coming up. What are you going to do to deal with that, you know, to take some downtime?
All right. A lot of people go on vacations, and some people, they lounge around on the beach, totally relaxed. Some people jet off to faraway places and come back even more exhausted than when they left, because it was a lot of work and a lot of adventures. So would you recommend a relaxing holiday as opposed to an adventurous holiday?
I think the holiday needs to meet with what your needs are. So if your needs are, you know, you've been revving it high, then you may need a down vacation, a relaxing vacation sitting on the beach. If it's to get reconnected with your family and friends because you haven't seen them for a while, then plan accordingly. So if you're planning for relaxation, then you're going to come back feeling relaxed. If you go off and you do 15 side trips, and your goal was really for relaxation, you're going to come back feeling exhausted. And we know that the time before, during, and after, you know, many of us feel stressed. And we think, oh, vacation should be relaxing, but it's probably because, you know, we're so busy leading up to it, trying to fit it in, and we haven't really planned out for it. We're not doing well during the time, and then when we come back, we've got all this work to do. So it's really about planning. What
really stood out in this survey for you?
I think a couple of things that, you know, vacation is seen as a top perk for people, but I also see one of the things that the Expedia.ca survey looked at this year that was different was, what did we see as the most stressed profession?
Yeah, which is?
It came medical professionals, so doctors and nurses, and then caregivers, people in long-term care, people in nursing homes, because of the drain and the 24-hour care that's needed for these types of professions.
It's almost guilt. They're not taking vacation because they feel guilty if they leave.
And
leaving a patient, perhaps, that may need their time or care.
Takes that way, and it's also that, you know, they tend to be understaffed, and so shortages that way. They're just the demands of work. On the opposite end, in our perception, it was teachers and government workers kind of came at the bottom of that. But one of the things we know is that they're still just as stressed. They still have just as much stress. So it's very important for people to take that downtime.
I know Alberta is in the midst of a huge boom. Maybe perhaps people want to take advantage of that while the market's really hot. How about Albertans? Where do they rank on this survey?
They're still not good at taking their vacation. So I think, again, we really need to put that as a priority, but they come back actually higher when it comes to feeling better about their jobs and productivity than other parts of the country. So we know that there's a benefit there.
I don't know what it is about the French, but Quebec ranked the highest in taking vacation, just like people in France.
They still have that kind of traditional view on downtime and vacations and family time, and so it shows when we look at the stats.
What about men and women?
Men seem to work more hours. But that doesn't mean that men are less stressed than women. So men may be working more hours at their job, but we also know that the primary caregiving role is still with women. So they may be shortening their time at work, but they still have to, make sure that the children are fed, they get to their places and all that kind of stuff. And we're also caught in the sandwich generation now too.
What's that mean?
It means that not only are we looking after children, but now we're looking after elderly parents. And so that kind of dual role that we have as far as caregiving.
So both genders extremely bad about taking their vacations?
Yes.
And you wouldn't recommend a lot of people trade in their vacations for cash? For money?
No, I think, again, we really need to look at the impact that revving that high continuously has on us. And so we know that there's impact on high blood pressure. We get more flus and colds. We feel it in our neck and shoulders. So we're going to the chiropractor more. We're going to the massage therapist more. We know that when we're taking that vacation, it doesn't build up in our bodies and mentally as well.
And one last question. A vacation doesn't have to mean sitting on the beaches of Puerto Vallarta or some exotic locale.
No, it can be just as easy taking a city break somewhere else, getting a change of scenery. It may be going camping, getting out into the country. And so it doesn't have to be exotic, but the idea is to get away. And so there's all kinds of things that you can do to plan that, because planning was one of the difficulties. So go online, find out what's there, and look around.
All right, well, thank you very much for
You're
joining
welcome.
us. And take your vacation days. If you
Exactly.
want more information, you can log on to this website, expedia.ca. Also, the Ipsos Read website, ipsos.ca. We're going to take a little bit of a break, not a vacation break, but just really a 2-minute sort of stress break. And we'll be back after this.
This is a cute camera.
Not as cute as you.